Hello, good afternoon. How are ya? I sound like Jeffree Star. How are ya? Today I'm going live with my friend Jack. She is also an astrologer, an energy healer. She just texted me, so hopefully she can see this. Hopefully she's joining. Who I am co-hosting the Feminine Frequency with. So we'll wait for some people to jump on, for her to jump on. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about my journey to embodiment and how Jack has helped me heal and glow up and all those fun things. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? I like your. They look like little earmuffs.
Yeah, like a snow bunny, like I'm in the ski
Exactly.
slopes.
So funny. Like you're in
Yeah.
Aspen.
Well, I'm excited because we're going to talk about your incredible journey and how it's influenced the feminine frequency.
Yes. So thank you for coming on to interview me on my own channel so that I can share a little bit more about my experience, how this container came about, and really also too how Jack has helped me in my journey as well because her energy healing sessions are so powerful. So I'll pass the reins over to you actually.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited. Our intention today is just to gather and talk about your incredible journey, Cosmic Jack. I'm Jacqueline Erickson, also known as Jacqueline Carmen. So we are teaming up for the feminine frequency, just like Jack mentioned. Let's get into it. So, what inspired you? To create the feminine frequency, just a little more information around that, and more about your journey.
Yeah, my body, I would say, has been my biggest struggle and pain point in my entire life. And I think people wouldn't necessarily recognize or realize that just looking at me because of how far I am in my journey now at this point. Because I look like a healthy embodied woman, and it's I had such a toxic abusive relationship with my body. I never felt safe in my body. Even just from my birth chart perspective, I have all of the body karma in the birth chart, and I was never grounded in my body. So what that means and what that looked like was basically my body and my brain were shut down and disconnected. And so you were able to mask that for parts of your life. But then there came a point when I moved to Miami, and really the last really since my spiritual awakening, I had to really kind of reconcile a lot of the internal energetics and relationships that was going on with myself because um, it wasn't necessarily I wasn't getting the results that I wanted to get, or I would get things manifest things in and they wouldn't stick because I wasn't in my body. And so I think the hardest thing to realize and recognize about when you're not in your body is you don't have awareness that you're not in your body. Because if you did, you would just be okay, well, how do I ground? But I didn't actually understand what that meant to even feel grounded. I had no idea how that felt. Or there was times when I could feel grounded on my own or with other people, but the second I was alone, I would just be a space cadet, go to a different planet. And my body was really a rocket ship. And I operated from a lot of numbness and dissociation and shame and shutdown, and would feel just so trapped. And I didn't know what was wrong with me because there was such a disconnect between my body and my brain. And I was an insomniac. I had depression. I had anxiety. I had high stress. I could never just fucking shut my brain off, right? And a lot of my survival patterns and mechanisms were around trying to control things and figuring out everything in my mind. And I had just had a really bad mindset and just was operating from this internal kind of spiral and chaos. And there was times when I was overweight, there was times when I was severely underweight. And I was just really emotionally numb and really just mentally not in a good sort of place at all. So, I would escape, I would avoid, I would party, I would I would travel, like I would do everything under the sun to like avoid feeling and avoid coming into my body. And so, um, it really like I had to like shift, like the universe essentially forced me to shift. And I think what so many people don't understand or recognize is so many of these kind of mental patterns, or kind of like even just energies that you like maybe think are a part of your personality. Like if you resonate with being a person who's anxious, it's like your nervous system, that just means your nervous system is in fight or flight. Like that's what that means. It's like people, we think that we're like, oh, we have like, we're someone who's like anxious or worried, or we operate from concern, and it's like that means your nervous system is dysregulated. Like if you are an overthinker, it means your nervous system is dysregulated. Like any time that you're basically operating from a place where you're not feeling like settled, grounded, safe, connected, happy to be alive, it's like your nervous system is operating in a different state. And so people like kind of like try to do like the wellness hacks or the mental hacks and all these sorts of things, which aren't necessarily like identifying the root pattern and struggle, which is that they have to address the nervous system and they have to address the body. And so in order to change your reality, it's like you change your state, like you change your nervous system state. Because a lot of these kind of like energies that people want to integrate, it's like if you want to be more confident, you got to look at your solar plexus, right? Like if you want to be more empowered, look at your solar plexus. If you want to be more creative, look at your sacral chakra. If you want to feel more like secure and grounded and like able to manage stress and change and like just like everyday life situations, you got to look at your root chakra. And so there's a lot of these sort of like external things that we desire, or maybe even just like internal things that we desire to feel. And people don't necessarily like understand, like when you clear out your body and you heal your emotions and the negativity and the trauma that's stored in your body, like these are natural parts of who you are. And so when you can learn to come back into your body and really clear this energy from the root, from the emotion, from the physical plane, then it's like your authenticity just naturally pops on. Because whenever you hold kind of like tension and sludge and emotion in your body is where you're not authentic. And so it's like if people want to actually become more intuitive, more magnetic, more feminine, it actually really looks like addressing some of these like lower chakras in the body. And so that was kind of a long-winded answer, but that's just really about like how I started to feel differently, and how I started to get different results externally was really shifting the inside and learning to work with my nervous system and clear my emotions and come back into my body. Because it all really is an internal transformation for the external. Like I shifted how I look. I, maintained my dream body with like ease. My relationships shifted. My living situations have shifted. My business has shifted. Like all these sorts of things shift when you do the internal work to calibrate.
I love that. I mean, it sounds like profound change.
Yeah.
And based on that, what would you say if you were to summarize the feminine frequency of what will someone walk away with? Like what is like the golden nugget of this container? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I think definitely feel more grounded in yourself and in your body. And what that looks like is you picture like that safe person that you can just be your most silly, playful self with. Like, you know what I mean? When your inner child comes out, like that is a signal that your body is safe. And you don't actually have to need anyone else for that internal like light and play and femininity to come out of you. It's actually just something that needs to be integrated within, and that starts with learning how to create safety and intimacy with yourself. That can actually just be like a natural part of how you radiate and exist in your everyday life. And so really, because that's always like I always used to be like, oh well, when I'm in relationship, like this like inner playful person just like naturally comes out. And it's like, well, you don't actually like need the other person. The other person is just showing you that that part of you exists.
Mm.
So it's like the way to liberate your internal magnetism is by doing that, like by letting it liberate within you. It's like if you feel magnetic when you go and you have to go travel to frickin' Paris to feel magnetic, right? It's not necessarily the place, it's like the experience that you're feeling. internally when you go to that destination. And so like that energy is available to you at any time. It's just about shifting your energy. And so you're like the version of you that has everything you want, that is living your dream life, and really just the woman that you deep down know that you desire to be, there's a reason you can feel her, right? There's a reason you can feel her, because she exists within you, like in the quantum field of possibilities. So it's like when you can clear out those emotional energetic blockages in your body, it's like though you could actually just tap into her and like bring her in through your body, through your feelings, and through your emotions. And so it really, what I want to do is I want women to feel better. I want them to look better as a result, and I want them to shift their relationship with themselves, shift their identity, because just changing your life is really just about shifting your identity. And identity work wasn't something I like deeply understood, but it's everything that I do to create change. And we're going to go deep into the identity work, and we're going to go deep into just really clearing shame, because shame is the number one thing that blocks women, and it is stored in the nervous system on the level of identity. And so just really developing that inner self-love and that inner self-trust with themselves, that they can make decisions, that they can handle stress, that they can cut their anxiety in half, that their natural light and vibrancy can turn on, and that they can really have a full head to toe glow up and like look and feel better as a result, and just feel really empowered and confident that they're like the creator of their realities. And that's really how you take your power back, and you get really tapped into the magic and the play that happens when you raise your vibration, because your frequency is in your body, your vibration is in your body. It's literally what it means to be embodied.
Yes, I love that. I mean, and who doesn't want more magic in their life, and just to have life in a flow state? It's easy peasy, you know.
Yeah.
My next question for you is, who is this container for? Like, if you were just to get like ultra specific, like what are the characteristics of someone that this container was designed for, or that had in mind?
Yeah. This container is designed for the woman who has all the external stuff. Like they might have the family, they might have the career, you know, they might have like these external things, but they're like, don't understand why they're not fully satisfied and happy. And that was me. Like I really had my dream job. I was traveling the world like 6 months of the year. I, you know, lived by myself in New York, was like living the vida loca, but I was an insomniac. I was depressed. I was stressed out. I was like manic, like straight up fucking manic. Like I couldn't keep a relationship. And I mean, I wasn't even home. Like I was still just like operating from this like, you know, avoidant state of like fleeing and gallivanting around the world. But it's like, and it's like, there's, you know, that there's like a richness to life. You know, that there's like more to life than what you're currently experiencing, because it's like it's a feeling, right? And so you just want to internally feel better, and you're probably frustrated by like how you feel, because you're like trying to do all of the external things, but they're not making you actually internally feel better. Like you still feel stressed, you still feel anxious. You know, you're not operating at the level of power that you know yourself to be. You're not feeling as like full and free and happy as you know, like you deserve and desire to be. And so really we're just going to come back, and I talk to so many women like in the day-to-day like life and living who are like stressed out. And it's like, you did not come here to like live life stressed out. You came here to be a magical human. And so this container is really going to help you connect back to your magic and connect back to your feminine. Because when you can actually like learn to live life from your feminine and really create a life that's in tune to what feels good for you, like not the boss babe, not the trad wife, like somewhere in the middle, like whatever that magic feels like for you, that you feel empowered to create that for yourself, and really just be in tune with your own cycles and your own rhythm, and really just develop that trust and connection with your body, so that you always know what it needs. You always know what it's like saying and speaking to you, and you always know how to give yourself what you want and what you need, because that's really what it means to be empowered, is to be completely sovereign in who you are, and you're able to just create a life that feels so much better as a result.
Yeah, I love that. What is a little preview of like what's the layout or the format of the container just to let people know what to expect
Yeah,
during the sessions?
yeah. So we are jam packing this into the month of June. It is 6 weeks, so the Telegram is a 6 weeks period. The last week will be like a complete integration week. So we're jam packing this into June. So we're meeting like once a week. We'll have healings every other week because Jack sessions are so powerful that the body, we want to space it out so the body can calibrate. But each week we're going to go through a chakra. So first week we start at the root. The second week we go to the sacral, and we literally just work our way up through the body. And with every chakra, there is basically like a big major thing that we're integrating. So for example, like with the solar plexus, which I was talking about, we're really working, clearing through shadow. Like with each thing, we're focusing on something specific. With the root chakra, abundance, of course, too. Like the heart chakra, obviously, love. And so we're really anchoring in each week to like one specific theme. And then we'll have classes and sessions on Monday. And then in the Telegram, we'll take it deeper inside the Telegram. So we'll have 4 days after each class, and we'll go a lot deeper inside the Telegram, like do a lot of like journal and reflection questions and activities. And that's where you get like live hot seat coaching and reflections and reframes and all of that sort of stuff so that we can be sure that you integrate. And then every other week we have a healing session by Jack, which if you've never had 70 a high energy healing, it is so powerful. And it is very potent. It like kicks a punch. Like these sessions will unfold over like 3, 6, 9, 12 months. So just because this container is only 6 weeks, it doesn't mean like the effects aren't going to be like integrating and lasting like long term. And then, so basically the last week will just basically be, we might have like a bonus call, but you know, a lot more Telegram access to make sure that everything gets integrated, because most people don't have an information problem because the internet is what it is, right? Like you can Google anything that you want, but most people have an integration problem. And so that's really what this container is about, is making sure that you are integrating all of the information, because information ain't shit if you're not applying it and it's not embodied.
So true. So it
Yeah.
sounds like, there's a lot of support, there's a lot of structure. It's really thought out. It's based on your experience. I mean, you said it. You're like, I went through 7 years of transformation, and this is 6 weeks condensed into that. So it's all of your wisdom, all
Yeah.
of your learnings. That's
It,
incredible.
it, everything that I have learned and everything that I know to have shifted and transformed my life, my results, my body, my identity, and really turned on my intuition as a result. And so anytime want some, like there's your life asks you to shift or to change, like you have this to go back to and refer to. Like this is designed to be like a one-stop shop. Like you're not going to need another healing or whatever after this unless it's like maintenance or check-ins or whatever. It's like everything is in this. Like we're gatekeeping nothing. And it's like I want this to be like a one-stop shop because women are overcharged, underserved, to steal my a thing from my friend. And it's like I want to give everyone inside of this container all of the information that they really need to lean back on for good.
I love that. And if anyone has any further questions, if it's the right fit or just wants more information, how should they connect with you?
Yeah, you can send me a DM. I am doing complimentary consult calls this week, so just message me if you want to set them up, or if you have any specific questions, or you want to like, like this is what I'm going through. Is this a good fit? Any sort of like just questions about a high. Also, feel free to DM me. Happy to have a chit chat. People always end up joining though after they have a chat. And yeah, I mean, this is set up perfectly astrologically as well. Energy is starting to move. We are closing out Uranus in Taurus, which over the month of June is what we're doing. That is an activation that's really about awakening the divine feminine frequency. And so cosmically, we are going to be really supported. And it's really going to set you off to be a completely like transformed into like your highest, best potential self. come summer. Because
Yes.
we want to feel happy and alive during summer and like our best selves.
I love it. Yes. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, this was awesome.
Yes, thank you for joining, and thank you for being my little host.
Yes. Well, have a good one.
Yeah,
Ciao.
bye.